All right, guys, how's it going? In this video, we're going to be talking about the Maldives commercial link-up with Liverpool Football Club and the fallout from I need to look at my notes because, there's that many initials and symbols these days. When I was a kid growing up, it was just like them, back for the other side or something like that. You know what I mean? Like, let's have a look. The LGBT plus, right? So, the LGBT plus crew, they're throwing a wobbly, basically, over the Visit Maldives deal, right? And I don't want you to get your knickers in a twist, right? Or anything. And the last thing I want is bashing with a fucking handbag, right? But we're going to take a look at it, right? Because the first thing that springs to mind when I saw this outcry about it from that, there's a group attached to the club. I don't even know what they're called. And I'm not really that bothered. And that's not ignorance on my part. It's just that I really don't like getting caught up in politics and sensitive issues and things to do. Like, everybody expects Liverpool Football Club to be the, I don't know, to judge, not to judge, to be this big thing that, big symbol for every cause and every religion and everything, and it's like, it's a football club, right? Yes, followed by supporters that are caught up in all these different religions and groups and everything, absolutely. But at the end of the day, football for me is escaping all that shit that we have to argue about and fight for in our lives, So I completely sympathize with what this is about, but it's just one of those things where I'm like, really? Okay? And I'll tell you why. Because it's about hypocrisy. That's what I think. So they're throwing, they're fucking whatever it's about, right? They're throwing a wobbly, right, over this Visit Maldives deal. Homosexuality is illegal there. So these lot are like proper fuming. Do you know what I mean? Fair dues. It's a kick in the teeth for them. But I would say, why is it just the Maldives that are getting called out here? Do you know what I mean? Like, if you think about it, Standard Chartered, AXA, Nike, Adidas, even Nivea Men, right? They're all drowning in controversy and dodgy shit, right? So various, partners and companies that the club have been involved with, are involved with, and nothing or very little is said about them. And if we look at the Maldives, it says here, because I've had to look into this, right? So, and this is good because it's education at the same time, right? Because I was not aware of any of this. So the Maldives, right? It says lashings for being gay. Visit Maldives, homosexuality is a no-go, Sharia style. Caught being gay, you're facing jail, fines, even lashings, or whipped for who you fancy. Well, I try anything once. Maybe there's some bonuses here. Oh, I'll try anything. I'm not gay. My boyfriend is. I'm not. But no, jokes aside, brutal stuff, right? So, because they'll start fucking attacking me now. So it's not good. The LGBT plus, the gang, they live it, right? There's handbags flying around everywhere, and I don't blame them. It's rank. If you're a Liverpool supporter and you're a part of that community or whatever, and you want to follow Liverpool, if you're a Liverpool fan that lives out there, for example, I'm sure it feels like a kick in the teeth if the club you support and love is doing a deal with, a country that doesn't treat you well. Yeah? I get it. I do, honest. I get it. As much as I like a bit of a laugh and a joke and try and poke a bit of fun at things, I do get it. It is human rights. I understand completely. But what I don't understand is why it's only the islands, that are catching stick. So if you think back to Standard Chartered, right? Again, I'm not an expert. This is just bits and pieces that I see, right? About them being a shirt sponsor of Liverpool and everything. They paid $300 million in 2018 to dodge a US rap. Shoddy controls letting terrorists, drug lords and bent regimes shift cash. Then in 2024, $100 billion for terror-linked groups ducking sanctions. The fans, are fuming, about, what is it, this fucking Maldives thing or this particular group's, fuming. But, that's human rights carnage right there. Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't see anyone, like, kicking off about that. The only time I ever see that mentioned, and AXA, that we're coming to next, is when people pull up the hypocrisy. When people say, hang on a fucking minute, what about this, right? So, AXA, investments in sketchy gear, labour abuses, conflict zone filth. Not loud like Standard Chartered, but it's murky. So where's the LGBT plus pitchforks with that, situation? Tumbleweeds, you know what I'm saying? Nike, I think we all know here, the sweatshop kings, years of stick for screwing over workers in Asia, peanuts pay, hellish shifts. Everyone wears them, but it's still rotten, right? LGBT plus boycott, nah, too busy sunbathing. Adidas, right? I love Adidas. I've got my Adidas on right now. I love my fucking Adidas. More labour grief, grim factories, poxy wages in Asia, plus cotton from Xinjiang, where the Uyghur folks are forced to graft in China's nightmare camps. Adidas say they sorted all that out. That's not happening, but the stink still lingers. Human rights, yeah, definitely. LGBT plus noise, no, nada. Now this one I thought was interesting. Nivea men, remember Adam Lallana giving it that, and all the good-looking ones. You know what I'm saying? They never selected me for a brand deal or anything. Here's the belter, right? Nivea men, grooming mates since 2015. I think the contract is still in place until 25, 26. I'm not sure. In 2019, some Nivea executive said, "We don't do gay at Nivea." I couldn't stop laughing when I read this. I remember this briefly, but I didn't know about that exact words. It was basically, he was binning an advertisement suggestion or commercial, with two blokes that were holding hands, and he says, "Nah, we don't do gay at Nivea, mate." You know what I'm saying? And but one of the people on the call was a gay team member. So the ad agency, dumped some boycott calls flew, and Nivea's wear inclusive waffle didn't wash. Liverpool, what did they do? They kept flogging the cream. No fuss. Anti-gay stench right there. And the LGBT plus slot, they were like, what stench we got about? Now, one that crops up quite often is when we're often talking about Middle Eastern potential investment, ownership and things like that. Oh, I always think about the hypocrisy here, especially when you think of the West, like the UK and USA, right? Police thuggery, immigration cesspits, asylum camps, disgraceful. America, jails galore, ICE nastiness. No gay bans, but human rights rot and stacks of it. I mean, they're still executing people and all that, right? Do you know what I mean? But the LGBT plus gang, they're not boycotting their own postcodes. You know what I'm saying? So, Maldives lashings for being gay. Vile, personal, in your face, awful. Nivea's homophobia, same stink, closer to home. Standard Chartered's terror cash or Adidas's Xinjiang Uyghur mess. Bigger body count, less spotlight. The LGBT plus crew's cherry picking, the Maldives, is low-hanging fruit because it's a country and not a faceless brand like AXA. If they're legit about human rights, they'd be torching the lot, not just a trendy target. Hypocrisy is their real sponsor. So the Maldives stuff, being criminalized, put in jail for being gay or for whatever you are or whoever you are, I completely agree. It is wrong. It really is, guys. And I don't know, I'm gagging to know. Be careful with that word on this topic. It is wrong. Listen, if you're new to my channel and you don't like, my way I'm dealing with this, then that's fine. But I'm a cheeky chap. And I just think, I sympathise with you completely. I get it. I completely get it. But I don't see all the other things being called out all the time. And maybe this particular one group has called, these different things out at one point. But I just find hypocrisy, the people that oppose the Middle East ownership and things, the sports washing and all that, they never bang on about, how our countries are sometimes, and the bad things that we do in the UK, in the US. Never, fucking never. And the arrangements, like I'm talking there, Standard Chartered, all that terrorism shite, AXA, you could go on for ages. I mean, if I was to pick each, one out, I can give you reams and reams and reams of stuff that you can throw at them. But what do you do? Like at the end of it, it's a football club, right? So what do you do? I mean, we're all hypocrites, aren't we? Because we all say, oh my God, that's disgusting. But we'll be wearing our night tops or our, Adidas made trainers like I've got on now. You wear the football kits, and these people will be there going, this is disgusting. But they'll still have the kits on that's made by some fucking kid. You know what I mean? It's like, it is hypocrisy. We're all hypocrites at some time. We are. And yeah, do you know what? The world and different countries can be a pretty shitty place. I genuinely do sympathise with this group of people. I have people that watch my videos, of all orientations and from all backgrounds and from all different countries. And it must be like, if you're in the Maldives and you're a Liverpool fan and you're like, oh my God, my club's fucking done a deal with these fuckers. I get it. But I also look at it and think, it is supposed to be a football club. I always feel like the club has a responsibility to its neighbourhood. And that's about as far as it goes for me. Its neighbourhood, like the people that live around the stadium that are affected by the football club being there and looking out for the community and things like that. Yeah, the support base is, global. But if we were to scrutinise every single deal, we're going to always find some murky stuff somewhere that we don't agree with. And unless you're actually seeing Liverpool fans, people in the Maldives being executed or something, which there's no suggestions of that happening. But if we're seeing, two fellas that are in a relationship and they're in Liverpool shirts and they're being took away in a van and they're being imprisoned because it's not allowed to be like that in that country, then people would look at it differently, wouldn't they? They'd be like, oh, this is fucking disgusting. All of us would do it. But because we don't see the connection to Liverpool Football Club in terms of them wearing shirts, little Johnny, he's gay, he's in the Maldives, he's been sent to prison, he's a Liverpool fan. But we're not hearing about little Johnny, are we? Do you know what I mean? We're just told, oh, it's gay. You're gay out there and it's not allowed because we don't see it. I think if you could bring the visual elements of it into your process, then people would agree with you. They'd be like, oh man, we're not having that. That's one of us. But the club, what we're supposed to do, the club's like, right, you want us to do this, you want us to do that. We're going to sign as many deals as we can. Do you distance yourself from every dodgy fucking country, every dodgy deal, company, brand or whatever? Every single fucking major brand's going to have someone within the organisation that's maybe not a good person. All of us in life will have friends that have probably got some fucked up views or something, or maybe things we don't know, I don't know. And someone says to you, well, you can't be friends with him, he was in trouble. Are we supposed to bid him off or her off? Why don't we just focus on the football and let the governments, let them, work out these issues? And if you've got a problem with the Maldives, instead of taking out a Liverpool Football Club, why not campaign, instead of contacting the Liverpool Echo, and contact the Maldives and say, hang on, this is fucking bang out of order. But at the same time, don't forget, what right have we got to tell other countries how to fucking run themselves? We don't like it when they're telling us how we can and can't do. The best way to do it, I think, is always, talking rather than screaming at people. And I read the quotes yesterday from this LG plus divide, fucking whatever they're called, group, right, which I'm sure are lovely people, but it was very like anger, which is understandable. But it didn't make me want to sympathise with you. It didn't make me want to sympathise with you. It came across as too aggressive to me, right? Whereas I think if you used what I just suggested and said, well, imagine, two Liverpool fans, they're watching a game together, they're holding hands in a bar, two fellas, two lassies, whatever, two lassies with a bit of luck, right? And, they're being carted off in Liverpool shirts and that, people would be more tuned in with that. I would be like, oh, that's fucking awful, huh? But when I see you coming out saying, we demand this, we demand that, I immediately go on the defence and think, hang on a minute, it's a football club, they're not a fucking government. Do you see what I mean? So maybe it's just the way you put it across. And I know I'll have offended someone in this fucking video. I offend people every day. Not intentionally, but I will. But life's about opinions, all right? And you might disagree with mine, and that's fine. And maybe I'm poking fun at some things, but that's because that's how I deal with things in my life. Even the traumas and bad things that affect me, I still fucking laugh about them, all right? It's not funny, some of these things. But I just think that you need to, instead of making the demands and saying how disgusted you are at Liverpool Football Club, try and get into the minds of people and think, but that could be your son, your brother, in a Liverpool top, getting put in prison. And then maybe people would be more sympathetic and more understanding. But I think you should cut the club some slack, really. It's not up to how does the club keep everyone fucking happy? I can't keep everyone happy on here on a poxy fucking YouTube channel. You know what I mean? They must be like that, Liverpool. Oh, for fuck's sake. Now, Michael, have you seen this shite? It must be like that, money. Can you imagine what it's like? Because everyone's fucking moaning all the time in society. Every fucking day of the week, someone's offended now, right? Michael, there's someone at reception down here throwing an handbag around. He's going to fucking hit you with his flip-flops. You know what I mean? There's always something in there. Club, this is a football club. Take your argument to the fucking governments. That's what I would do. And no fucking double standards. Right? It's not all about that. If you're going to get fucking angry about, it's human rights, then human rights for every single one. Right? And then if we want to pull the club up, say, right, there's no deal with them, no deal with them, no deal with them. Well, there'll be no sponsors fucking left. Because guess what? Where there's big money, there's corruption. And where there's government, there's definitely corruption. So, if you're in the Maldives, and you're a bit, you know what I'm saying? Fair play. Just keep your head down. Well, there's a joke in there. No, just I don't know. Are any of these people moaning in the fucking Maldives? That's what I want to know. What? 1 minute, please. What we're talking about? Maldives, Liverpool. Should I put outrage? There's always a fucking outrage about everything. Cop-outs, that's who it is. The cop-outs. Cop-outs, all right. Okay. If you're from the cop-outs, please feel free to leave a comment. But be nice. Be nice. And listen, I'm open to being educated. I'm not educated on anything. Or not. So if you are from that group and you're like, whoa, Chubbs, let's talk. And I'll see if I can come around to your way of thinking. But I agree with you anyway. That's awful. That's shit. Awful. Terrible. That you can't be who you want to be. I get it. So I'm agreeing with you. But at the same time, I would say, but don't forget all the other issues that you're forgetting to challenge as well. That's what I'd say. And as for Liverpool, fuck me. Let them get on with playing football. If you appreciate this video, please thumbs up this video. Oh, I know this video will get some thumbs down. So please, if you're on my side with this one, thumbs up the video to counter that, because the will come from me. The good thing is, I only found out the other day that a thumbs down has no bearing whatsoever on how your video does on YouTube. I didn't know that. It still classes an engagement. One view, one engagement, whether it's that or that. I didn't know that. I didn't lose any sleep over it previously, but I just wanted to say that to people just in case they think that it makes a difference. It doesn't. But if you do support the video, no, let's rephrase that. It's not about supporting the video. I don't want you to thumbs up or thumbs down because you agree or disagree with the content. If you support me, if you appreciate the effort, even if you're thinking, just give me a thumbs up. Comments, you're always free to say what you want on my channel as long as you're polite to me and the other people within the community. Your comments are very important, and yeah, nice one. All right, guys, cheers. I didn't even mention hitting the super thanks to support me or anything because it's a delicate subject, you see. I want to be taken very seriously. We do things seriously around here sometimes, you know.